Afternoon, I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times, Tuesday, November the 18th. News today, lawsuit filed in Faulkner County, very interesting. It's hard to say where this will go. Anybody can file a lawsuit. But Thomas Buchanan, the trial lawyer who won a $5 million verdict in a nursing home negligence case in Faulkner County and saw it reduced to $1 million, has now filed suit against the judge who heard that case and reduced the verdict, Mike Maggio, also against nursing home owner Michael Morton, who owned that nursing home, and also against Gilbert Baker, the former state senator who's emerged as something of a political middleman for campaign contributions. The allegation is simple, that campaign contributions that Baker channeled from Morton to Mike Maggio resulted in the reduction of that jury verdict. It's sort of the civil version of bribery after a fact. He claims that it's abuse of the public trust. There could be some very interesting depositions in this lawsuit. By the way, a federal investigation of this case continues. I'm informed that the federal investigators are serious, have compiled bank and phone records, have issued subpoenas for a grand jury, and so this thing may yet emerge as a very big story, and it's certainly worth watching. At the state capitol today, news in the transition. We're facing 5 new statewide office holders. This means staff of the people who are going out are naturally nervous about whether they'll still have jobs. Some are political people and they know they will not have jobs. Dennis Milligan, who's going to be the new state treasurer, caused a little bit of upset in the treasurer's office, where there are about 35 or so people, by telling all the employees there yesterday that they had to submit a resignation letter if they wanted to apply for a new job. This is a fairly unusual practice. Other people are not following in the other state offices. It seems to be somewhat coercive. There's some fear that this could deprive somebody of unemployment benefits if they filed a resignation letter and then were not hired for a job. That remains to be shaken out. Things seem to be working better in the governor's office and the auditor's office, where people are having interviews and eventually they're going to tell employees whether they're going to make it or not. Quite a few will not, but some will. There are a lot of career employees out there that do good work. Charles Robinson, who's working as state treasurer on an interim basis, says they're professional people that handle $18 billion a year worth of transactions every year. He's hopeful that some of those at least will keep the business of state government running as Dennis Milligan's new crew comes in. I hope so too. Got some spinach journalism to recommend for you today. These are things that might not be the tastiest thing you ever ate, but they're really good for you. Benji Hardy wrote something last night for us about legislative hearings on what to do about pre-K. It turns out that the state has been losing ground on providing pre-K to children before kindergarten. This is an important time, the time when you can catch up kids who started in rough conditions. The state isn't doing as well. Democratic legislator even brought in Republicans from Oklahoma and another southern state to say that they've done more for pre-K. Will Arkansas do the same? We could hope so, but with the money situation the way it is currently, it might be hard. I also wrote this morning about continued great reporting by Chad Day in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette about the mistreatment of youthful offenders being kept in various facilities around the state, some operated by private contractors, some the state contracts out to other public agencies. Particularly heinous use of a restraint device, a suit really. It's a scary medieval looking thing as a punishment, just exactly the wrong sort of thing to do in a rehabilitative setting. Great reporting by Chad Day. Very unsettling for other people. Uber, the car service, is probably going to get its ordinance from Little Rock City Board tonight. It comes amid more controversy, though, some reporting about a suggestion by an Uber executive in a speech up east that perhaps they ought to do opposition research on journalists who criticize them, some tough hardball tactics by Uber in other cities. These are guys that think they're smarter than everybody in the room, that move fast. They have a good service. It's very popular, but perhaps they could demonstrate a little bit more southern hospitality. We learned today that Tom Cotton was the first federal candidate to begin raising money after the November 4th general election. November 4th, he had a mailer out to lobbyists saying, come give me some money next week at Johnny's on the Half Shell in Washington, and presumably quite a few of them did. Nothing like a winner in Washington or anywhere else. Finally, I want to say a kind word about Jean Gordon, the 88-year-old doyen of peace and social justice causes in Little Rock. She's going to be honored Thursday night by the Arkansas Community Institute for a lifetime of good works. A good person. If you got time to go by the Little Rock Library at 5:30 Thursday, I urge you to do it. Jean Gordon is somebody well worth saying a nice word about. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.